All right, let's dive in. Today, we're unlocking the secrets from one of the most powerful books ever written, Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. We're going to break down his legendary rules for building connections that really truly last. This quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It gets right to the heart of a problem so many talented people face. I mean, you can have all the skills in the world, but if you can't connect with people, you just hit a wall. It's a frustrating spot to be in, but don't worry, Carnegie gives us a system to break right through it. And here's the crucial thing to get. Talent, what you know, that's just the price of admission. It gets you in the door. But connection, how you make other people feel, that's the real game changer. It's the missing link that separates those who climb the ladder from those who stay stuck on the bottom rung. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the core problem, then we'll build up with some foundational rules and persuasion secrets. After that, we'll get into building real connection and handling disagreements, and then we'll wrap it all up with the big takeaway. Okay, first up, let's really define this influence problem. This isn't about just being nice. It's about understanding the actual system for building the kind of influence that opens doors both in your career and, your personal life too. All right, now we're moving into the foundational rules. Seriously, think of these as the absolute bedrock of influence. You have to get these right first, because honestly, without them, none of the other stuff is going to work. The very first rule, and let's be honest, maybe the hardest one to follow, is to just stop criticizing. You simply can't change people's behavior by pointing out everything they did wrong. All that does is put them on the defensive, and the conversation is over before it even starts. And Carnegie himself just said it perfectly. Criticism is easy, right? It's the default for most of us. But real influence, real leadership, well, that begins the moment you decide to choose a different path, one of curiosity instead of condemnation. And what's so great about this slide is it shows how a tiny shift in your words can change absolutely everything. Why did you do that? That's an attack. It puts up a wall. But asking, what made you think that was the best choice? That invites them into a conversation. It builds understanding. Okay, the second foundational rule. This one taps into a really deep human need, the desire to feel valued. People crave genuine appreciation more than almost anything else. But, and this is a big but, it has to be sincere. People can spot a fake a mile away. And this just brilliantly shows the difference. Good job is so generic, right? It's empty flattery, it's totally forgettable. But saying something like, I really respect the effort you put into solving that problem, that's specific. It tells the other person, I see you, I see what you did. And that is how you build real trust. All right, let's get into the art of persuasion. This next principle is what Carnegie saw as the single most important secret for getting people to willingly come around to your way of thinking. It's pretty much the ultimate hack. Now, this is a massive mental shift. The secret to persuading someone isn't about pushing your own agenda harder. No, it's about figuring out what the other person wants and then showing them how your idea helps them get it. It's actually a really simple two-step process. First, just stop talking about yourself, your product, your idea. Just stop. Second, frame everything in terms of their needs, their desires, their goals. When you help people get what they want, you'll be amazed how often you get what you want in return. Next up, let's talk about building that genuine connection. These next principles are all about the likability factor. How to create immediate, authentic rapport with pretty much anyone you meet. This might sound super obvious, but very few people actually do it. I mean, we live in a world where everyone is fighting for attention. So you can be the rare person who just gives it away freely. But you have to mean it. True interest just can't be faked. So how do you show that genuine interest? Simple. Stop listening just so you can figure out what you're going to say next. Instead, listen to actually understand. Ask people about what lights them up, their passions, their story, their big goals. When you make other people feel important, they will naturally be drawn to you. Okay, this next one is maybe the simplest and most powerful tool Carnegie gives us. A person's name, it's their identity. It's music to their ears. When you remember it and you use it, you're communicating respect and recognition. It is such a small act, but it makes a huge, huge impact. Now, for a really critical skill, handling disagreement. What do you do when you just don't see eye to eye? Carnegie's approach is kind of revolutionary. The goal isn't to win an argument, it's to guide understanding and find some common ground. The phrasing here is so important. It's not beat people in an argument. It's win people to your way of thinking. That implies it's a collaboration, not a combat sport. True influence isn't about power, it's about shifting someone's perspective. And this single phrase right here, this is your secret weapon. Starting a tough conversation with, "I might be wrong," instantly lowers everybody's defenses. It signals that you respect their point of view, and it transforms a potential fight into a collaborative exploration. So let's bring all of this together. It's so important to understand that these principles are not just a collection of clever tricks to manipulate people. They are timeless truths about human nature. At its core, Carnegie's whole philosophy is actually pretty simple. Real, lasting influence comes from a genuine desire to understand and value other people. It's not about being slick or clever, it's about being empathetic and respectful. And look, if you remember nothing else from this explainer, please remember this. Your perfection doesn't inspire people. Your ability to make them feel seen and heard and valued, that is what earns you their trust, their respect, and their loyalty. So I'll leave you with a question. This is what turns all this information into action. Who in your life, right now, can you connect with by using just one of these principles? Who will you make feel valued today?